If you've ever worked on your vehicle at home, you can probably identify with some of the frustration that comes along with lifting your vehicle using jack stands and a floor jack, and you know just how much time goes into setting these pieces of equipment up at the beginning of every single job. You know that there are also limitations with how high you can lift your vehicle. There are further issues when you want to lift all 4 tires up off the ground at the same time. You need to lift one end first and then go to the other side. You're not really sure if they're going to fall off the jack stands when you're doing it, especially if you're working on an uneven surface. In my opinion, a QuickJack system or something similar solves all of these problems. It has a larger footprint, it's faster to set up, it raises the vehicle higher, and most of all, it's more safe than any jack stand setup that you can think of. So what I'm doing right now is just making sure that the QuickJack is positioned on the frame where I would like it to be. You can do this by moving around the jack frames and moving around the jack pads that are provided with the frames. You can see here that at the rear of the vehicle, or closer to the rear of the vehicle, I'm using just a piece of wood to help with clearance on the fuel tank. And you want to make sure that both sides are positioned properly underneath your vehicle's frame. On the back side here, I have another piece of wood that is just helping me with clearance on the frame. Once you've fully lifted the vehicle up to the locking positions, you want to verify that the locks are resting down in the correct position. This is one locking position, this is the higher locking position, and this is the lower locking position. Just make sure you do this on both sides before you do anything to the vehicle, before you shake it to test it, or before you begin any work. So you want to make sure to give the vehicle a good shake when it's up on the locks. Make sure that everything is safe. Go ahead and give it a good shake, and that's solid and not going anywhere. So at the beginning of the video, I was mentioning the benefits and the safety of QuickJacks versus jack stands and a floor jack. You can see that this entire frame is making contact with the ground. The positions where the jack pads actually contact the frame are also much larger than jack stands. And of course, this is the same on the other side. Another thing to mention, once you have the QuickJack set up, you can disconnect the quick connect fittings here on either side, just to clean up some hoses if you need to go under the vehicle, or if you just want to have a bit of a cleaner setup with no hoses on the ground. You can see that there's plenty of clearance underneath the vehicle now to do lots of work, from suspension, brake work, basic oil changes, you name it. You're going to be able to get access with these QuickJacks in a much more safe and effective way than you could if you were working with jack stands. Lowering the vehicle is just as easy as raising it. All you need to do is slightly raise the vehicle past the locking points, ensure that both sides are unlocked, and then press the down button on your provided remote to safely lower the vehicle. So I'm going to go up now past the locks. Once you're at this point, ensure that you are not getting underneath the vehicle. You need to make sure that both locks on each side are disengaged, and you do that by just lifting up on this bar here and making sure that this locking portion is pointing this direction on each side. And now that you've verified both locks are disengaged on each side, you can press the down button on your remote and your car will begin to lower. You want to make sure while you're lowering the vehicle that you are not landing on any hoses with the frames. So once you get down past just past the first lock, I would just double check to make sure that there are no hoses or anything that are going to make contact with your frames. So just kind of readjust any hoses if you do see them. Here we can pull this hose out a little bit from underneath the tire. And that side is good. And now you can go ahead and fully lower the QuickJacks. Once the QuickJacks have reached the full down position, you want to go ahead and keep holding the down button on your remote for another 5 to 10 seconds just to release any remaining pressure in the lines, and that's going to help you disconnect them much easier. So I think it's pretty clear that QuickJacks are the best option for lifting your vehicle safely at home. Compared to jack stands and floor jacks, they're much more stable, they're faster to set up, they lift your vehicle higher, and they just provide you a better sense of security while you're under your vehicle fixing things. There are a couple things that you do need to consider if you're looking at a system like this. You're going to need a flat and level surface, so whether that's a concrete pad inside a garage or outside, you need to make sure that the surface is flat and level that you're operating these QuickJacks on. And of course, read the manual, make sure that you're checking all the boxes in terms of how to operate these safely if you do get them. You may also need to consider lifting adapters. So if you have a larger SUV or a truck, the standard rubber blocks that do come with this system might not be compatible with your vehicle. So you need to check that out and make sure. You saw that I was using a wooden block just to get around some obstructions that are underneath my vehicle. So you do need to take that into consideration. Also, the weight ratings of each model, they're different. So you need to make sure you're getting one that is compatible with your vehicle so you're using these safely. So if you're like me and you want to save a bit of time at the start of every job with setup, maybe the QuickJack is the system for you. It comes with the added benefits of improved safety, stability, and a higher lifting height. And I think it could be a great addition to your garage. And speaking of garage, this is Rove Wrench, and I'm Tyler. If you like videos about fixing things, making old Land Rovers run again when they're broken, which is basically all the time, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.